Welcome to Whispering Spirits Paranormal After Dark. My name is Angela. I'm one of your hosts, and this is Melissa, our other host. Say hello,
Hi.
Melissa.
Hello.
Tonight we are having on our show Malissa Creacy. She is the author of a book she wrote called The Haunted Place, based on true events. So basically, she writes a journal of her dreams. And in this book, those dreams come true. So we are going to talk to her tonight and see if she's a maybe psychic medium or she's just lucky to have these dreams and they come true.
Hello.
Hello, hello. It's dark and gloomy back there. What do you got? Oh, there you go. I'll move my face now I can see.
Is it
Are
too
we
dark?
echoing? No, I can see it. No. My face was covering your little lady. Yeah, no, but you're good. I can see it now. All right. So we already did
Hi.
our introduction. And I talked about your book a little bit before you came home. I got my wine. I'm ready. My book and my wine. And it's raining. So you ready? Yeah.
Can you hear my music? You can? I just have it like for background music. I actually looked up paranormal music.
No, you know what I hear right now? I hear the rain hitting my metal
The
roof.
rain.
Yeah.
It
Do
actually
you hear it,
rained here.
Melissa? No? No? Well, there you go. So it's for your ambiance stuff. For your ambiance. All right. So where shall we begin? I'd like to introduce author Malissa Creacy. This is her book. It's called The Haunted Place, based on true events. We've invited Miss Creacy on the show today to talk to us a little bit about this and how her dreams are affecting her everyday life. Right? Is that pretty much right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, Melissa, please tell us a little bit about what made you write this book. It's basically a diary starting with this, I'm assuming, right? What made you start writing
Yeah.
it down to publish it so that others could read it? What made you get into that?
Well, I was having the same dream all the time about this place. And it wasn't just every now and then, it was like all the time, like for years. So I don't know. I was just thought I need to get it out. So I just started writing like the dates and what I saw, kind of just chronicling in my journal what I saw.
Well, I
And
read it
then
and I found it very fascinating how, like, you would write something and then in your next paragraph or chapter, right, you would say missing a page because you thought that it didn't correspond with it and then you regretted it because it actually did. Does that happen often?
yeah, yeah, it was I'd wake up the next day and read actually what I wrote, and I'd rip the page out thinking that's so bizarre. That just didn't make no sense, and it was just weird. And I wished I had now. I mean, just some really weird stuff. But the little things is what matters because they all build up.
Hmm.
Writing this down, and I've had dreams before, but this dream is different from any other that I've ever had because this one involves ghosts. I never believed in ghosts, never in my life. I thought everything could be explained.
So even as a child, if you saw something, you just assumed that it was something that maybe you made up or whatever.
It's just a shadow, you know, or the house is just settling, or I think I'd see something, and yeah, I just think, because I just watched a scary movie. I thought it was just, just a figment of my imagination.
Oh, I've been
But
there.
yeah, after years of dreaming this, same dream, I've actually named the dream because every time I have dreams like this on repeat, they get a name. So I named this dream the haunted place. I didn't know if it was at the beginning. I thought it was maybe a house or a building. I didn't know which, but I knew it had 3 stories, and so it got to be so much that I couldn't articulate what I was seeing. So I had to draw it. I drew a map, and it was the layout of the first floor mainly. And there's things on the first floor that's got their own name, which didn't make any sense until it did make sense. And I drew some of the second floor and the third floor, and then I chronicled, the dreams that I would have, and until it just one day, me and my daughter, we were out driving around, and I usually went down the same road all the time. I passed by this place all the time, but never caught my eye until we went a different direction, we went the other way around, and then I saw on the side of the building with this finger pointing this way, and underneath it says Backroom Cafe. And I saw this big glass, and it just had antique furniture and stuff in it. And I thought, that is so neat. I've never seen anything like it before. So we stopped and got out and went in. And all of a sudden, that one of the main ghosts, she was on me. something that
What do you
I've
mean she was
never
on
had.
you?
She was on like my whole left side, like a blanket, and she was like in my head, and I saw her face, and in my head she was screaming, "How dare you find me?" And I asked my daughter if she was okay because I've never experienced this before. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know if I was having a stroke or what, but my ears started ringing and my vision started getting blurry. I felt like I was gonna get sick, and then my daughter said she was fine, and then I calmed down a little bit. And I took a breath and I looked around. What I drew on my map was exactly what I was seeing. What I saw in my dream was exactly what I was seeing. I'd been there before
That's
and I
crazy.
couldn't believe it. That was so, and to feel her on me and all these years not believing in ghosts or anything like that, that made me think about it. Like something happened to me. I can't explain it, but I know it was her. I know it was her. So I started walking around a little bit and I started taking pictures, here and there. And there are things that I also wrote on my map, like there's a teddy bear, there's a grandfather clock, there's the dark place, there's a place where all the treasures are. And I took pictures of every one of these places. I found them. I could not believe that I was actually in the haunted place. So that scared me so bad that I told my daughter, I said, we need to go now. I didn't tell her what. I said, we need to go now. And so it took me about 3 or 4 months. And I finally came to my kids and I told them, I said, hey, this is what's happening. This is what's always been happening with me. I said, this is what
So they
recently
never knew
happened.
before this that you had dreams?
No, I always carried it myself because I thought I was supposed to carry it myself. I mean, how it I just couldn't explain it to anybody. But my kids told me, they said, you need to research on it. You need to go back there. You need to talk to them. So I did. I did research on it and I found out that the place used to be a furniture store and it dates all the way back to 1925 when it first got built. And it used to be a furniture store, a doctor's office. It used to have a church in it. It used to have a mortuary in it, ambulance service. But yeah, and there's things also too that I've put in my book that go with the ghost. There's more than one ghost in there. I went to the owners and I talked to them and they said this place is haunted. I said, yes, it is. It sure is. And I told them my situation. I showed them my map, which I drew back in 2018. It's got the date on it. And I said, I drew this place before I even knew it existed. And I was showing them things in there. And some things were from the past because a lot of times I was dreaming about that place in the past tense. I saw 2 nurses on the 2nd floor and they were in black and white, dressed in the old timey nurse uniforms. And that's where the doctor's office used to be, was on the 2nd floor. And it was back in the day. And whenever they gave me the tour, in the basement, there was 2 nurse uniforms hanging up, like the old school style.
No
which
way.
I couldn't believe seeing that.
You need to go there, Melissa.
I want to. I'm coming. I'm going to meet it.
Yeah, there's just a lot. The main ghost, I call her the mean lady. She's evil.
Let me interrupt you. What did the owners of the business now, the building, think when you came in and said, hey, I've been dreaming about your building and I drew a map and this is what I see? Did they first look at you like you had lost your mind?
No, they looked at me and they said that this place is haunted. And
Okay.
I couldn't believe that they were acknowledging it. I thought they were going to tell me, you're crazy, you need to leave, you know, but there's been so many things that's happened over the years. That's even before I've even brought my book into the picture. People have, like, the owner lady even said that they had a bed that they sold to someone and they brought it back because they said it was haunted. The bed itself was haunted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I think that
Yeah,
would be
even
kind of cool to have a object in the house that attracted ghosts or that had a ghost on it.
yeah.
I'd put it in my
And the
bedroom
owner,
for my husband.
so you're sleeping in there and I'm mad at you.
Like, hello, Anthony.
If I brought something home from there, Paul would leave. He'd move out. He'd be like, I'm gone.
Right? So how did these dreams affect you in your daily life? I don't want to interrupt you, like carrying on through the story, but you've been having the same
Oh, you're
dream over and over and over. But how does it affect you? Because you went over a span of a couple of years in this book. So how did you manage knowing that if I go to sleep tonight, I'm going to dream about this crazy old woman in this haunted house that I've never even seen before you even went into it?
used to. Yeah. Used to, I would turn to alcohol
Oh.
I would wait. I would wait at night. I'd make sure my kids were in bed, and it was just mama time, right?
Mhm.
And I would drink until I blacked out, and I wouldn't have a
Really?
drink. Yeah,
It scared you that bad?
I was tired. I was tired of the. It didn't make no sense to me. It was just. It was more like a poke, 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 and it's like you can't escape. You can't help what you dream.
So what made you,
You got-
come to your senses and, I'm assuming, stop the force drink to go to sleep? So how did you come to that point where you're like, "Okay, this is it. I gotta figure it out." Is that what you did? Like
yeah. Okay. Before the haunted place, I've had dreams before. And this has started my whole life, ever since I can even remember dreaming, ever since I was a little kid. And it was on repeat over and over and over. I called it the long dream because it kept getting longer and longer and longer. And it was about this place. I didn't know what this place was, but there were nurses and doctors. There were kids, lots of kids. There was a school. And every time, whenever it's time for me to leave, I had to fly home. And the way I flew in my dream is I jumped in the air and made my legs go back and forth really fast. And the faster I went, the higher I went. But I always flew home every time. And then there was another dream that was tied to it. And it was a really tiny dream. And it was called like I said, every dream has a title. And it was really short. And it was called the Frozen Wall of Fish Dream. So this dream, I was always walking down the dark hallway, and the only light was on the right side of the wall, and it was from the floor to the ceiling, and it was like tropical fish, and it looked kind of like a block of ice, and they were like frozen. And I knew something bad happened, and that was all of the dream. So, fast forwarding, my daughter, 15, she got diagnosed with cancer.
Oh,
And so
no.
we started flying. We started flying to St. Jude. Also, too, in the long dream, I forgot this little tiny part. Like I said, every little bitty thing means something. Every time I went to this dream, there was always this place in the floor that always dipped down and up and made me feel like, that feeling you get in your stomach like a roller coaster
Yeah.
ride? Every time it did that. Okay. I was pushing her in a wheelchair and the floor dipped down and up real fast. And I got that same feeling. And I looked around, there's doctors, there's nurses, there is a school there. And I knew that this is the place I'd been dreaming about all these years.
Get
Now,
out.
I'm 45 at this time. And so the next part, I'm on the elevator. I'm going to the 4th floor where her room is. And there's this lady on there with me, and she's panicking. I know something bad has happened. I know. And so the doors open and I walk out, and it's nighttime. So the lights are dim in the hallway. So I step out and I'm walking, and I look to the right, and from the ceiling to the floor, it's all lit up. It's nothing but fish on the wall that's frozen, like they're not moving. It's like tropical fish. And that
Wow.
floor was called Under the Sea.
So you were dreaming about your
So that
daughter having cancer the whole time?
I was dreaming about that place, yes, the whole time.
What?
Ever since I was a little girl. And then that's whenever I knew that's what this is. Because after that, the dream broke. I never dreamed about that place ever again.
So that's the first time that you realized that your
Yes.
dreams actually meant something. Like
Yes.
they had,
And
was,
I cried like,
And that's what made
I'm
you
even
start
getting,
writing them down?
yes.
Mm.
Yep.
I don't know if I could do that. That's kinda, it's cool, but weird at the same time. Like
It's weird.
like
Yeah.
creepy weird, you know what I mean? Like you just saw the future as a little kid to an adult. You saw your daughter's future before you even had your daughter. That's crazy. So you're a
Yeah.
psychic medium.
I never thought about that. I just knew that these dreams, I can't explain them.
Well, you said though
I
that
used
when
to
you went into the haunted place that the lady attached
Mhm.
herself to you and you could hear her, you could feel her. Only a psychic medium would feel that. Could you answer her back?
No, I did not answer her back. No, no, no.
That would have been cussing. Get off me, woman.
I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what it was at first. And then
Because that's your
until I
first
saw her
paranormal
right here
experience though.
in the physical.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
and there's other things too, that little bitty things that happened prior to that, man, this is before I had the courage when I had the courage to go back and talk to the owners of that place, and they confirmed everything I was saying.
Right.
Like, I couldn't believe.
Like what?
I couldn't believe it. There was a place where the treasures were. I didn't understand it in my dream, but there was this one room, a path. If you go off the path, you can get lost and go to a different room that's got all this treasure in it. And naturally, in my dream, I was drawn to go that way. And if I went that way, the mean lady, okay, in the basement, that's what I call the sleeping ones. They're down there and they're all covered, laying down covered with sheets. Actually, in the basement, there's 2 vaults down there where they used to put the coffins in when they brought the dead people in, and they're still there. And so she would send them after me. She controls them. They don't want to. They move really slow. And when the sheets fall off, all I see is like silhouettes. And the darker ones are the younger ones. And the gray, yeah, they turn like gray. They're older. But there are 2 that always got to my heart because just the shape I could tell was like a mother and a daughter, and they're always side by side. And I'd see them, and it would just get to my heart, and then I could hear her laughing in my head because the mean lady, she's feeding off my pain.
That's so weird, though.
She makes herself look like she's got sharp claws and sharp teeth, really tall and slender. She's got that cameo right here at her neck. And she dressed modestly. She wants to make herself look like scary so she can scare me so that she can feed off of that. She feeds off people's energy. She likes to drain people.
Yeah.
She wants to be in control like she was in real life. She was always in control. That's what I always got from her was control, control, control. Her husband, I think her husband is also a ghost there, but he's friendly. She controls him too. He's always on the first floor. He's always behind like the shopping racks, and he hovers about 1 inch off the floor. He wears a nice gray suit. Sometimes he wears a fedora, but I call him the smiling man because he has a mustache that curls up like this all the time. So it just looks like he's smiling. No, not. But now in real life, I don't think I don't know. I remember he might have had a mustache in real life, but I think that's how he wants to present himself as nice, smiling, happy. And I think they have an understanding like you stay over here in your corner and I'm going to control all this over here. This is all, you stay over here and I'll stay over here. That's the understanding I get. But like the nurses are there on the 2nd floor. There's also a doctor too, but he's also in the background. I can hear him talking like he does to a patient. But I think all 3 of them are just like residual energy because they always play on a loop. Every time I walk up there, they always ask me, "You want a sucker? Do you need a Band-Aid?" Always polite, but it's every single time. It's the same.
And nothing changes with those.
Nope. Then the ones in the basement, though, they're trapped.
You
They're
said the
under-
mortuary was in the basement?
Yes.
So,
And
because you said they were covered.
Go ahead.
You said they were always covered in sheets. So I wonder if that wasn't the people that were like embalmed there or something. Because you know how they cover.
I know on the 3rd floor, they used to embalm them because of the smell. They had them up on the 3rd floor. They might have changed it up. I don't know. I know there's this one room. In my dream, I never saw the cafe because that's like a new addition. But all I saw was like this weak wall. But there is like a room that used to be called the viewing room. It's on the 1st floor. But yeah, I know that they used to do the embalming on the 3rd, and then in the basement they would keep them in the little vaults
With the sheet over them, right?
Yeah, they would have the sheets over
guess.
them in the basement.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's who those are. Like the people that
I
were.
just find it fascinating that you have this vivid dreams and you still remember them. Like you're living in that moment. Like there's not even a stray from the dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just the ones that are in the basement. I call them the sleeping ones because that's how I always saw them. Was they're all laying down with sheets on them. But yeah. So okay, back to the room with the treasures. In my dream, the treasure room had like stuff that would come from a royalty, like something you'd see like in the castle, the royal castle, like the really nice furniture and the paintings and the like the silver tea trays and just really fancy stuff. But okay, I was telling the owners about that place and they looked at each other and said, "That is where Steve's treasures are, his treasure room." I about fell on the floor because there's
What?
actually a room called the yeah. And so
Steve
he
is
went to
the
show me
current
it, and
owner?
I was Steve and Kelly. That's Steve's treasure room. So they went to go show me that, and I didn't. I reluctantly stepped foot in there because of all the times that she was like
Stay out.
forbidding me to go in there. Yeah, yeah. So when I first stepped foot in there, I thought, okay. So I walked in there, and my gosh, there's so many cool, amazing things in there. It's just
Mm-mm.
I can't even. It's awesome. But yeah, there's just things in there that I can't believe that was proven on the map.
Tell us about
You
the
know,
little girl.
okay. Okay. So the little girl, that's another ghost that other people have said that they've seen. So I've never seen her before until, okay, I don't know if it's the same little girl, but people said that she died. She's supposed to have died in there in the copper penny, fell off like the second or third floor. I'm not sure. But I was talking to Kelly one day and I was holding my dream journal and I felt like a cold touch on my hand. And it was weird because that it was just weird. And I got this picture in my mind of the teddy bear. And I was like, where's that teddy bear at? Because I remember taking a picture of it the first time I ever walked in. And it was also on my map. I wrote teddy bear. So we started looking for it and we couldn't find it. And then we started talking again. And then I got like this little poke, like, hey, where's the teddy bear? So we started looking for it again, couldn't find it. And then like 3 days later, I had a dream and I know I was in the copper penny. I know I was there. It was the same as you walk in, but everything else around me was blacked out. I couldn't see it. But I saw these boxes on either side of me, like clothes were in it, like they were living out of it. And there was a man sitting on the floor. I couldn't see his face, but I saw he had like a white tank top, suspenders, and black pants. And I think he was her caregiver. I don't know if it was her dad or her uncle. I don't know who he was, but I saw some work boots, a tricycle, and then I looked down at myself and I'm the little girl. And so it was like I'm seeing through her eyes. And so I stand up and I start to walk towards the window, like towards the door, and he doesn't want her to go outside. He wants her to stay right there. He's really strict and she's really sad and she's holding a teddy bear and she's really sad and she just wants a friend. And I didn't say it out loud, but mind to mind, I guess, told her I'd be her friend. And so I was kind of wanting to know about him. Who was he? Like, was he a construction worker, carpenter? And he got mad about that. And he told me because he thinks women are beneath him. He said, you must not be using your brain because there's a big difference between a carpenter and a construction worker. He said, I am the carpenter. And I was like, okay, I didn't even look at him. I was like, but yeah. And then
That
that was the
statement
dream.
right there tells me and Melissa that you are a psychic medium. There's no way that you can communicate with those spirits if you're not. You have to have an ability.
well,
Somebody like me,
Mm.
I don't have jack. They could be crawling all over me and I wouldn't even know it. But you acted like her, you sensed her, you talked to her, she poked you, and then he was communicating with you. And you knew exactly what he was saying. You, my friend, are a medium.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot to even think. It's even.
I mean, think about it. I mean, how would you
I'm
know
scared of it.
those conversations if you weren't? Because you were wide awake, correct?
Say
I
that
said
again?
you were. I said when you had that interaction right there, you were wide awake
With the man?
in the building, right?
Whenever I had the interaction with her,
Yeah,
I was wide awake.
yeah. So that makes you
Yes.
a medium.
Hmm.
yep.
I never would have thunk it.
Mhm.
Not in a million years.
We need you to
I
move to
just, I've
Tampa
never.
today. We have places to take you.
Even when
sister.
you're sleeping, they're still communicating with you. Even in your sleep, you're still communicating. You're seeing stuff that you haven't seen before
Mhm.
that's real, like spirits.
Yeah, I never go looking for it. It always like came to me.
So I have a question. So
Uh-huh.
we all dream. We have normal dreams.
But you're not.
I know even when I dream, sometimes if somebody wakes me up, I can fall back asleep and go back to my dream and continue it. So you said that you used to try to stop your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to initiate a dream if you wanted to? Like, could you, like, if you wanted to have a dream, let's say whatever time or whatever, could you like think about it and go to sleep and dream about like the copper penny? Or were you always in the mindset that you didn't want to dream about it?
I was under the mindset I didn't want to dream about it. Yeah, and it just kind of wiggled. It forced its way in there. Um, I will say this though, with the being awake and stuff happening, my first podcast, I did it at the Copper Penny and I was on the 3rd floor and it was only me and my phone, like right here, me and her talking. And, I saw it and I was trying my best to act normal, just, talk through it, just get through it. But have you ever saw like a heat wave? It looks like this
Mhm.
invisible energy. It was like right here in between us. Let's just doing that. And I'm like, mm-hmm, yeah. And it would like in and out do that. And then every now and then, like under my skin, it's hard to describe, but like underneath my skin on my forehead, it felt like a tickle, 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 like tapping like right there.
I'm telling you.
And I would be blinking and, just trying to get through.
She's like, I
We
don't want
started
nobody to
talking about,
know. I don't want anybody to know.
no.
Don't
I was
don't
like,
go there.
no.
This would be me. What is going
I was trying to
on?
plan on
Feeling something on my head. Or I'd be whoever's
and
doing
then
the
we
interview,
started
I'd be
talking.
like, do you see something on my head? Like, is there a bug or something? Like, do you see it?
Right. So then we started talking about like getting rid of her, like what could what could happen, and who to get, and this and that. And I don't remember all we talked about, but when we started talking about getting rid of her, that's when I started feeling pressure on my throat. And I started, yeah.
She
I
wants to
could not
stay.
ignore that.
She wants to stay.
I could not ignore that. And yeah, so I don't know if I'll ever do another podcast at the Copper Penny.
Well, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't want to. I mean, your dream has ended from what you told us, right? It's ended.
Yes, the
However,
dream, the day I walked in there, and especially the day she was on me, the dream broke. But when the little girl touched my hand, it activated it again. And this is not the end of it. I got one more thing to tell you guys. So, okay, after the little girl dream, and then after the podcast thing, I went to write in my dream journal what had happened, because everything that pertained to the Copper Penny, I've been chronicling that too in my dream journal.
right?
So I started writing at what happened, and I noticed that there's a page that looked like it was dark underneath. So I turned the page, and evidently I had wrote something in it, another dream that I didn't remember writing. And this was back in January of this year. So I read it, and then the dream started coming back. Then I started remembering. So basically, it was at the Copper Penny. It's just like another little nugget, like a little another puzzle piece. I don't know. I don't know if this is in the past or if it's going to happen. But we were on the 2nd floor. There were 2 people over here on this side of me. I was sitting on a couch. We were on this end, on this one end of the Copper Penny. And there were like 2 more people on the other end. And it was light bulbs. The light bulbs kept going out. We couldn't keep the light bulbs on. And so it was like flashlights. And there was one guy, he was the head of everybody. I think I was right in the middle of a paranormal investigation. And I was sitting on they've had so many people come in there, paranormal investigators come in there. So in this dream, I was, I guess, a part of it. So I'm sitting on a couch, and there's this guy. He's got a beard. He's got kind of longish, curlyish hair. And he's not like, he's big, but he's like buff, kind of. And he's got tattoos on his arm. He's the leader, and he's holding his gadget. And this other lady, she's got like this army colored jacket on, no makeup, glasses, and like a beanie on. And she's like next to him. And there's these other 2 that are on the other side. I don't know what they look like. But I'm sitting there on the couch, and I feel something behind me. And I told it, I said, kill me. If you're going to kill me, do it now. If you're not, get away from me. And then I saw this black shadow on the floor, and it looked like it was kind of liquefied, and it just kind of slithered on into the side of the wall. It disappeared, and that was the end of the dream. But it was at the Copper Penny. So I don't know if I was
Well,
like
being a
seeing through somebody's
paranormal
eyes,
investigation,
or
I would
I
think
was
that's
part
coming
of it.
up.
Like, I don't know if I was a part of it or if I was seeing through somebody's eyes. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The light bulbs kept going out, and that was frustrating.
Have you
The
asked
leader was
the
like,
owners if they had a team that they experienced that particular thing?
they said there were so many people that's come through there, paranormal investigators. I don't think that they remember everybody. But
I mean, I
I
would
was
remember
asking
if
them,
somebody told me that the lights flickered on and off or what, you know what I mean? That would be
yeah,
something I would remember.
I don't know if it's their personal equipment that kept going out, or you know, because I think they had the lights off to make it dark in there, but they had their own equipment
Oh
in
boy.
there. I was sitting on the couch, just like watching everybody, and that dark evil thing was behind
You're
me,
gonna need more
and
wine
I
if you
got
go
straight.
back.
Girl, I know that's right. I know that's right. Bring the box wine. Lasts longer.
That I just find it very fascinating though that here you are with these dreams and you begin to write them down and one day you, out of nowhere with your daughter, you roll into a building and it is your dream. That
Yeah.
is just fascinating to me.
Yeah. And I think it's also too, and since you said my daughter, that's like the second time. I know the first one had to do with my daughter. And then the second time she's actually with me whenever I discover also again the location. She's also with me then too. It's kind of awesome, you know.
Does she have the
Actually
abilities that you have?
I've asked, you know, I kinda asked my kids like, hey, have you guys had dreams? Without trying to scare them or anything, you know, like, do you anything weird ever happen? Like, what do you mean weird? I don't know. Just anything.
I'd be like, listen, I think I have an ability. I think I'm a psychic medium. I know you're going to think I'm nuts, but I assure you, the stuff that I see and feel, it happens. Do you experience the same
Yeah,
thing?
like, and also too, sometimes I know stuff, and it's like a thought I just pull out of the air. I'll just know something,
Well,
and I also get a feeling like if somebody's bad, you know, like
that's like
if
Melissa.
there's something not right about somebody.
I just get excited for everybody else. I'm like, Melissa got touched.
But you got stories though where you do your paranormal. I've always been kind of fascinated with the paranormal,
Hmm.
but you're out there and you're doing it, girl.
Yes. So
You're
the most that's
doing
happened
the
to me
thing.
personally is being scratched. My partner Sherry and Melissa's friend
You got
Sherry, she's been, oh yeah, many a time. She is like the
where?
I get it mostly on my neck. On my neck. I've had it on my
Dude,
back. She's seen it on my back, my upper and my lower. And they're not very long or deep, but it's enough to make a welt. However, my friend Sherry,
yeah.
she's been pushed down a flight of stairs. She's been scratched. We were at an abandoned hospital in Tennessee, which we are going back in August. And we were in the x-ray
Oh
room.
God.
And one of us asked a question about something like, do you know where we're at? And it said x-ray on her neck. Like literally scratched X-ray on her neck. It's like,
Wow.
yeah, it starts getting hot and you feel the sensation and you're like, ooh, I'm like check, 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 check. But that's the most. I mean, I've seen shadow people when we've done investigations. I had dropped my camera to talk to a lady that owned this big property, and we both happened to be looking out this window into another house that's on her property. And in front of the window, which was a bay window, it looked like Abraham Lincoln walked straight in front of it, like the top hat, the long face, you could see the long neck, and it looked like a jacket, and he was swinging his arms. He was just walked right past it. So, I mean, we've seen plenty of stuff.
You saw that? You saw
Oh
that?
yeah. Oh yeah. I was
See,
mad at myself
I
because
never,
I
yeah,
had the
I
camera
never
facing
see
the
stuff.
window and then I literally just dropped it to have a conversation. And I was so mad that I didn't catch it on video. So, so mad.
Oh my gosh. Oh my. Be like, nope. I would have noped out.
Yeah. In that same room where we saw where I saw Abraham Lincoln is what I call him because that's what he looked like. Melissa, we were all sitting in a circle and we were doing an EVP session. We had the REM pod out. We had little flashlights out, all kinds of little gadgets, right? The voice recorder. I was taking photos and I
Mm,
happened to be like, I was like, you know what? I don't see anything in here. I'm going to go outside and take pictures of the outside of the house while they're doing their thing. So when I go outside, I found two girls on the property. I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, we're trying to learn how to be paranormal investigators. I'm like, this is private property. You can't be out here. But since you want to play, well, let's go inside. So I brought him inside. This little lady scoots closer to Sherry, practically on her lap. And then these two girls are sitting there and I back up into the door frame in between two rooms and I set up my camera and I start just taking photos. Well, one of them caught my eye and I snatched the camera up and I'm like, you guys got to go. Just out of nowhere, let's go outside. And I asked one of the girls, well, they were both together. I said, have either one of you ever seen an entity with you? And one girl said, oh yeah, I have a little girl that's with me. And I said, no, ma'am, you do not have a little girl. This is what you have. And I turned the camera around and showed it to her. And what it was, these two girls were sitting in on the floor with their legs crossed, right? And they were holding hands. So in the photo, all you see is their legs crossed, their hands kind of holding, but then they kind of blur out. And then you can make out the head of one of them, but right between the two, was a goat head looking straight at me,
No.
straight at me.
No.
And I'm like, dude, I said, I don't think that's a little girl. I think that you have an attachment. You probably need to go get exorcism done by a priest, but you can't stay here. You're not going inside with my team. You got to go. And I made them leave. Then I go inside and this one's like, oh yeah, I could feel them. And I could, I'm like,
Yeah. Oh my God.
yeah, our first
Yeah.
investigation. I'm telling her, I'm like, when you feel this stuff or see it, you got to tell me.
Yeah, it's kind of almost the same for me, but like more in the dream is where I can see more. But like in the real world, when I'm awake, is where I can feel more. But
You're a psychic
well,
medium.
having that,
I'm jealous. I'm not going to lie. I'm totally jealous of both of you.
yeah,
It's true.
that's a lot. That's something to think about. But I'm gonna refill. I'll be right back. I don't know if the copper penny is done with me. Like I said, with that last entry that I didn't remember writing until I read it. I'm gonna leave the back part of my dream journal
You
blank.
cannot stop at chapter 12. Just saying. You like left me hanging. I was like so
Yeah.
mad at you. I'm like, what? Just pray. Oh, come on. That's it.
Hey, you know what? You know what? It probably would have been longer if I wouldn't have ripped out all those pages. I know.
No.
I couldn't see that part of the future.
Well, clearly you're into something because it's a fascinating read. And I like the way you put it in here is exactly how you were thinking. You didn't change your words. At least I don't think so, because I read it like if you were
No.
telling me your dream, right? And I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. And I like that you have the dates in there and you can see like from September 2019 to December, like there's a gap in most of it. So I find it refreshing that it's
there was a move.
but this is this is a really good read. It's a really good read. And I highly recommend it to everybody. And I hope that with this little girl and the carpenter, I mean, I know I'm like wishing scary dreams on you, but I really but I really want to know what happens to the carpenter and this little girl. Is it the same girl that you said may have jumped out a window?
They say it was a little girl that fell off
Out of a window?
No, not the window. There's like there's like a hole that goes straight up, so you can see down. When you go up to the second floor, you can see down to the first floor.
Right.
And you go up the third floor down. Yeah, she was supposed to have fell in between that, like off the railing on the side. But I don't know if that's true or not. But I do know that when I dreamed about the little girl, I was seeing through her eyes, and I don't know if she was sick.
Is there a cemetery nearby that place by the Copper Penny?
Copper Penny? I don't think there's one close by because that's in town.
Yeah, but it's an old town, but it looks like an old town from the photo. I'm assuming this is the actual building.
Yes.
So it does look old. So I wouldn't.
I took that picture. I took that picture actually myself. Yes, and I cropped it and I turned it into black and white because that's what I usually see it in, as black and white. Actually, I went to the owners and asked them if it was okay if I wrote a book about the place. They said it was fine. I said, is it okay if I mention your name? They said it was fine. I said, is it okay if I take a picture? They said it's fine. So actually I took a picture of the front, and the way I put it on the book itself, I made it to where it's offset. So you could tell it's not on there because that's how it was for me. It fell off. So I made the picture look off. And then on the back, I put another picture of the back to make sure that I included the iron ladder that's on the back, because that's where the mean lady, she would, for some reason, go to the third floor and she would go back to that back window and she would have like one leg out and one arm out.
And
I'm sitting there like,
that you have on the back, there you can see what looks like a ladder that runs from the third floor all the way down.
Yeah, it's on that one side.
Yeah.
That's where she's always trying to go out. And she'll look back at me and she'll hiss at me like a cat with her fangs and her claws, like, get away from me.
Be like, peace out. Wake up.
She's either doing that or she's trying to scare the crap out of me.
So I wonder when she's trying to go out this window, if she's trying to get on that staircase.
I don't know. I don't know if she's trying to go to the roof or down.
Yeah, because it looks like it goes all the way up.
I've never been to the roof. I want to, though. There's actually an old elevator in there that's long, where they used to put the coffins in to go down to the basement. I actually rode in that thing. And like on the top part of it, it says Dreamline on both sides. This is up top.
Wait, the elevator
In
was for the
the
funeral
elevator.
home?
It was to take the coffins down to the basement.
And you got on it?
I rode on it. It's the old-timey one, girl, with the wooden thing you got to pull
I don't
down.
know if I'd
Yeah,
wanna go play on an elevator that 900 dead people had potentially
I got
rode
on it.
on it.
It actually said, girl, it actually said Dreamline on the top of it inside the elevator on both sides. And I thought, for real?
You got in it and
I'm
went
on the
for a
dream.
ride.
Yes, I had my tote that I brought for my podcast, and they made up a mannequin for me with how she dressed and everything, with the cameo and everything. So that could be like my prop for the background, which I thought was awesome.
So you
Um,
invited her when you did the podcast. Not only did you go up the elevator with the dead people, but your living people dressed up like the old days. You encouraged this to happen to you during your podcast. You know that, right? You set yourself up with props, my friend. Have you never heard of trigger objects? Melissa, what is a trigger object?
well, I was thinking presentation.
No.
That's what I was thinking. I actually did that too, up at the teddy bear in the background.
Here, I'll take another sip for that one.
I have to tell you guys something else before I forget.
This fucking
Speaking of the
teddy
teddy bear, well, I had that prop in the background, and I was talking to her on the podcast, and I was talking about the teddy bear, and then I got this thought in my head, like, that's not my teddy bear, but it looks like my teddy bear. I want you to keep looking for it. And I was thinking, that's one of the things where I was blinking, like, did I just hear that? Like, how could I get that wrong with the teddy bear? So I'm thinking with the teddy bear, I'm thinking that it's there, but it somehow or another it got lost there, and she's attached to it. So I don't know if it got in with
Well,
the
maybe somebody
foundation
donated it. She's
somehow,
back
which
in there
means-
trying to find it.
I think she's
And it's probably not a
it's
big
there
one. It's probably a
somewhere, but
small one
I
because
don't
back
know.
in those days they had little ones, not ginormous ones.
Yeah, well, this one wasn't. It looks big on camera, but it's little bitty.
Oh, is it?
And there was like, yeah, there was this little bitty rocking chair too, like wooden rocking chair that went with it.
But
And
it's
it was
not
one
the
thing that I
same
wrote
bear
down
that
on
you
the
see
map.
in your dream, though, right?
It looks like it. Yes, it does look like that one. So it does look like that one, but it's not that one. It's a different. Yeah, she was letting me know. She said because she wants me to keep looking for it. Even from day one when she touched my hand, she said, she was actually getting me to look for it. So, but in my mind's eye, that's what it looks like.
See? You're a medium. You're talking to a little ghost chick. Oh, God. I'm going to have like 8 glasses of wine tonight.
A lot of a lot of it is I'm hearing it.
Right? You need to go back to the store and go through all those toys and whatever.
I'm thinking it's lost, like where you can't find, like it got in the cement or something, like down in the foundation. I think it's there in the foundation. I don't know why. I don't know why I think that, but I just do. It's there, and she wants me to keep looking for it because it's there,
Well,
and she's attached to it. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
well, I know how we can
So-
fix this. You need to go to bed tonight and dream about a little girl and a teddy bear. Chapter 13, please.
I wish it was that simple. I mean, I could probably go back to the copper penny and her touch me again, and
So tell me about that photo behind your head.
this lovely lady right here.
Yes.
This is the mean lady. Someone sketched this for me. This is how she wants to look.
That's how she wants to look. Hold on. Let me see. I sent you a photo, didn't I? Let me look. Where are you at? Did I send you a picture?
But yeah,
of her?
sure.
Here she is. I did some research
Yes.
on this lady for her. Where are you?
Oh, you got me some behind the scenes stuff, do you?
Well, you got that. That's from you. Hold on.
We
Actually,
probably
let me
got
see
enough
that
on
face
here.
again. Your photo.
This lovely lady right here.
It kind of looks like her in the photo that you have. Maud Bell Fusen. That's what it looks like. Too late. It's out there. Well, she'll come to me now. It looks like her. Look, let me show. Look at.
I'm telling.
Did that not look like her? Oh, Maud, come and see me.
My God.
And this is
When I first,
and this is
when I-
the
when
said
I first-
husband, but he doesn't have a mustache.
no, I think that's how he wants to be seen. No,
The couple was a high society couple.
they were
In the
like
town.
They were like the pioneers. Yeah,
They were
like the
pioneers of the town.
this town.
Mhm.
Yeah. I read a lot
That's
about
crazy.
them. She was very mean to me in the dreams. I will say that.
Yeah, but she could have been a cranky old lady anyway, because usually the way you die is the way you are. I mean,
Like I
the way
said,
you
she
are in
wants
life is usually the way you are
control.
in spirit.
She wanted control of
Did the husband die
everything.
before her?
Do what?
Did the
Her
husband die
husband what?
before her?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hold on. Let me
Uh, but I think she wore the pants.
He died in 52. When did she die? She died in 53. So he died before her. So she could have
Yeah,
been miserable.
I've had people that ask me, "You think you might be related to her?" I'm thinking, "I hope not."
No, there's no relation.
I really, really hope not. And I was thinking, well, I wonder if my cousin Angela might know.
No,
If we're
no. There's no relation at all. The problem with you is you have an open mind to this and you're not accepting the fact that you are a medium, right? Or you don't know that you're a medium, clearly. So you have spirits come knocking on your door and they're going to come at you sideways because you're not listening to them. So this
Mm,
lady, at some point, you crossed her path somewhere, and that's why she came to you. You know, you said you drove past that
yeah,
store a million times, so she leaped you the minute she knew that you were with ability.
well,
Hmm.
right. It's hard though because of the way she was
Hmm.
in the dream.
The vampire, the angry, the
Right.
blah blah blah.
She was like hiding. She'd be hiding in a dark corner. But then I would hear in my head because I'm looking at this furniture like it's really pretty. Somebody handmade these quilts on these beds, and I'm admiring them. Like because they're like some patches are velvet. Just it's just really creative. And I hear this voice saying, "Oh, you can sit down. You can stay. You can just sit down and even try it out if you want to, and just be real nice." And then I start to ease, like smile or whatever, and I'm touching the bed, like this is really nice. And then I'm hearing the snickering in the corner, and she's coming out of the corner, and it's just so creepy. And you know, um, it's just her like pretending to be nice. And then of course, she would sick the sleeping ones on me. If she didn't like what I was doing in there, she'd sick them on me. I could just be walking around and she'd sick them on me.
I'm telling you, you are a medium. You're not. I think what you're interpreting as her being and her doing having these little goblins come after you is because you're not listening. You're not looking at her signs that she's showing you in your dreams. I mean, you're writing them down.
So all I know how to do is be afraid.
Correct.
I don't know. Like you're saying, to communicate, like turn around and be like, what, bitch? What you want? Spit it out. Like, that's why I don't know if I
Right.
could communicate because I'd probably come
I've
off like
listened
that. Like,
to
'cause
some of these mediums talk about how a spirit will come at them, and the first time they come at them, they're like this ginormous black hideous monster, and they're like 8 feet tall and fangs and long skinny fingers and long skinny legs and a torso about an inch big. But then as they're talking to them without fear, that thing shrinks down or comes face, and it's an actual man or woman or a child who is stuck in their realm because nobody's listened to them. They've been around who knows how many years. So they've developed an
oh,
anger and grew. They grow. So until somebody comes along and then listens to them and pays attention to them, they're stuck.
huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the only way
But when you're
I
dreaming
know
it
that I've
clearly you
known how
can't
to
say it
react
when you're
because
dreaming,
I've
but
known it. Yeah.
you're living your dream. So at some point you have a conscience inside of your dream. So you should be able to manipulate your own self inside of your dream. You just have to learn how to do that.
Yes, exactly. Like what you just said. In my dream, I don't know. It's just when it comes, that's all I know how to react is just be
Hmm.
afraid of her and get away from her. I don't
Yeah, you got to
like you
set
guys
yourself
said,
up. Start talking to yourself. I got this. I got
this
this.
is all new information to me. Like I don't know even the first thing about even how to even try to do that.
Move to Tampa for a couple months and we'll show you. What's that? But no,
Yeah, of course.
we both agree that you have an ability, and at some point you need to find somebody to help you zone in on it. It shouldn't be that hard. I mean, I'm not familiar with your area, but it shouldn't be that hard for you
I,
to find
um,
somebody.
I would I wouldn't know who to even
I would do like a Google search and see, who's a
Google.
psychic medium. No, really, psychic medium near me.
Google.
Crystals.
No idea.
Woman, you need to start Googling. Yeah, a stone shop would definitely put you with the right person. Like you walk in and they've got the crystals, the stones, they've got voodoo dolls. And then they've got like a card reader sometimes that come in. Like they do all kinds of stuff, but they would be the ones
Yeah.
that would know who for you to contact.
So, okay, since you guys know more about this stuff,
We're
so
just
you guys say
pretending.
I'm a psychic girl. So you guys say that I'm a psychic medium
Absolutely.
because I can hear.
Mhm.
So what would you call having these dreams over and
That's a
over all these
dream.
years?
That's a
What
dream.
would that be?
Hold on, I'll tell you. That is a dream. Wait,
Do you know how many times I wanted somebody to make me a dream catcher just to catch, you know?
So you could be a psychic medium. I'm sorry. Hold on. So a psychic medium can have visitation dreams, precognitive dreams, which provide future events. That was your daughter, right? A dream seer is a person of spiritual visions during their sleep. A telepathic dream is a dreamer who receives thoughts or messages from another person, whether it be living or passed away during their sleep. And the visitation dream person is a medium that interacts with deceased people while they're sleeping. That's you. That's called clairvoyant right there.
Okay. Okay. So what you just said about having a conversation with a dead person. I've never seen this person before in my life ever, but I dreamed about her. I always get emotional. I don't know why.
Why are you crying? Deep breath, mama, deep breath.
Every time I think about it, I get emotional. It's like whenever I had the
Mhm.
dream, after that, half the day, I was emotional. I couldn't stop crying. But it was about somebody I've never met before. But she, I guess, was trying to tell me to give somebody a message. She's a mom, and she just wanted to say that she was sorry and she wished she could have done better. She has regret and that she loves her kid. And
Aw. But you don't
it
know who
was
the
my
person is?
yeah, it was my ex's mom, and I know it was her because a version of me and him when we were younger were both in it, and she held both of our hands, and it was just like a gray mist. We were in this house, and it was like a really, it was like a fancy looking house with these columns inside. Oh no. She took us to this grand dining room, and we sat down and she started to talk. And but before that, I could hear in my head like she was sorry and she wished that she could, do things different. She had regret, and that she loves her kid. So I still remember that so vividly. Like I don't know how else to put it, but so I never met her, but she's not alive. Um,
Did you ever tell the person?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just one of those things where it probably sounded weird, coming from me, but I had to tell him,
Yeah.
I had to say it.
So why would you deny
Uh,
your ability? Or you just did never put two and two together?
what you just said, I just never.
You stop crying
I
right
don't
now.
know. Sometimes I just think I'm too emotional, like I'm too,
Well,
and it's
I could understand. I mean, like, I'll talk big tough talk saying, you should do this and you should do that, or why didn't you do this or do that? But I'm not walking in your shoe. I don't have your shoes on. I don't have my Melissa shoes on. So I don't know what that feeling of the unknown is. So, I could sit here all night and tell you, you should, you should, you should, and why don't you, why don't you? But ultimately, it's up to you on how you move forward with it. But you knowing from two people telling you, one who has ability and one who doesn't, that based on your stories, you have an ability, it's not going to stop. If you don't zone in on it and focus and train yourself, I mean, you could go down a wrong path and think everything's a nightmare. You know what I mean? But if you with the
yeah,
right person by you, like Melissa suggested, go into the store and see if they can help you find somebody that is legit that can work with you and put you on that path to, open up your mind and have a clear head and
yeah.
you are who you are.
Think so?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But I really, both, I'm going to speak for her. We think that you should do that because y- mhm, you have clarity. You have clarity, a peace
Yeah,
of mind.
exactly. like what you guys were saying.
Mhm,
Yeah, yeah, and the understanding of what's happening
mhm.
to me, like, I just thought I would just have yeah.
You also have to keep in mind too that when there are some people that die a horrible, tragic death, and then there are some people that die
Yeah,
that never got to say goodbye, or they died and they had a fight with their spouse or their kid or their grandma, mama, whatever, and they didn't get to say, I'm sorry. And so they die angry because they did not have that opportunity. So when they're coming at you, they're mad.
yeah,
And you got to be able to work through that and see it, like, like your, your lady in the book that you write about, her husband died a year before her. So of course she's
yeah.
angry. Her partner has died and she can't see him. She can't do anything. He left her, who knows, probably in debt. We don't know. You know what I mean? But and with all this stuff to take care of, and I would probably be mad too. Who wouldn't be if they
Yeah,
lost somebody? But so
right.
and then you got, people who pass away in a good place because they got to say their goodbyes. They got to see their loved ones. The ones that, they got to see who was sick come healthy again or whatever. You know what I mean? So you're going to have your good spirits and you're going to have your angry spirits, but they're not angry because they want to hurt you. They're angry because they died angry or they died sad and they need somebody to help them. And that's why you're getting what you're getting.
I don't know how to do that, like, oh,
You have a beautiful, clean soul, and you should not worry about what others might think or see you with an ability because they're again, nobody's walking in your shoes but you. And at my age, I don't give two craps what anybody thinks about me and what I do. And neither should you.
I've always, like, felt like I've always had to carry this myself,
No,
like,
you don't.
because I didn't know what the hell's going on with me.
No, you don't. You have people in your you have people clearly not around you, but there are people that are in your same position who probably think the same thing. And when they hear your story, actually, you should write your next book about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I've been told and this is what's happened and I think I'm on the journey to healing because this is where I'm at. But you're fine.
I apologize for crying on
No.
your
You're
podcast.
showing your true soul. Don't be sorry.
I felt
Yes.
like I felt like, after I told him, like, I felt like I did something I was supposed to, you know?
Yes.
I was suppo I was supposed to.
Number one, it was family. And number two, you had to deliver the message. And you don't even know how you got it. Like you were wrapped up in a
Uh-uh.
whirlwind of, woohoo, what is this? And what are they going to think after I
That's
tell
a
them? Melissa and I are related, and we found out literally by accident through TikTok, right? So when I
yes.
shared her tree with her, she did not know that we come from a line of psychic mediums. It did not land in my place. It hop, skipped, and jumped and went straight to her. But we are descendants of psychic ability.
I know things too, I don't know how, but I remember and I'm gonna go way back from my earliest memories ever. I don't even know how old I was, but I do know that I was in bed and I was holding a stuffed animal and it was dark and the only light was like, like the night light that comes from like the big night light
Yeah,
outside,
yeah.
street light. The street was coming through the window. That was it. So it kind of was like a gray cast, sort of. That was the only light. But then I know in the doorway, I saw something. It was blacker than black. It took up almost the whole door frame and it was humanoid. And it stood there and I know it was looking at me. I know it was. And I don't know, but I still remember that like it's still in here. Like
Mhm. So they've
and
been coming to you since you were a little kid?
it was so freaky. I don't even remember falling asleep, but I remember that one time, whatever that was in the doorway and it was looking at me. And I don't even know how old I
Did
was,
you ever
but
tell your mom as
that's
a little kid that you saw these things? No.
because you know why? That's the devil. That's of the devil.
Your religion?
Yeah, the devil stuff. And my grandma too, that's the devil stuff.
Mm,
Like I would tell her, I'd tell my grandma, I'd be like, "Art, because a lot of times when I was a kid, I had deja vu all the time,
mm.
and it was like glimpses of stuff. And I would tell my grandma, I've seen that before, I heard that before, or whatever. And she's like, Melissa, that's the devil. You
It's
you haven't
not
seen that
funny,
yet.
but I
No,
can totally
that's
hear that.
devil stuff. Like, I'm like, okay, girl, okay. you know, because I love my grandma. And I looked up to her, you know, she's very religious, you know, and she was the one thing in my life that was my heart. So I just never, I tried to hide that from her the best I could.
Everybody loves their grandma.
I didn't want to be.
It's not the devil. That's just the old school, you know, and religion. That's what they were taught. And I mean, my mom says, she'll still say something. I'm like, whatever. But I just,
Of that.
mine doesn't even
Yeah, I
say
don't
anything.
tell her.
I can just see it now. She's sitting on the couch going, please, Jesus, please, please
Yeah,
make my daughter see
protect
the
her.
right and walk away. So don't cry.
Yeah.
It's not just you. There's a lot of people that face that same reality with their family. Some are just more open to it. Like my siblings and
Yep.
my mom. I mean, I think she's hilarious, but she never says nothing. She knows what I do. And she'll actually ask me after an investigation if I post it for her to see. I'll tag her on purpose. I'm like, look, mom, look what I found. Look, you want to hear it?
Hey, hey, did you tell your mom you found me? Like, hey,
I
there's
did.
another
She's
cousin.
intrigued. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She tonight. But I want
Oh,
everybody who watches this podcast to go on Amazon and buy this book. It is really worth the read. She has it on sale. We can have the physical book, or you can download the which one is it?
ebook.
The what?
It's an ebook.
Ebook. Yeah. So you can
Ebook.
download it or buy it. And the download I think is free, correct?
Yes. If you have whatever that is, like the ebook.
Yeah. Kindle. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
available
Yeah.
free on Kindle, or you can buy this, and it is completely worth having. So I highly recommend you guys get it, because if you don't understand what the dreams mean to somebody, you will find out by reading this book,
Yeah.
right?
And thank you so much for allowing me to boohoo on your podcast. I did not expect
You are
that.
welcome. And here's my last sip. Cheers to you, Melissa.
Cheers to you.
All right, ladies, you have a good night, and I will talk to you both later.
You too.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.